right, guys, let's go this way. Guys, now y'all remember? Wow, he got it in now. But guys, I just found out what was taking so long. My buddy over here been fighting and wrestling with the insurance company again, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you again, I mean again. And I just found out why. Y'all can see this is the final version of the engine he just installed. Here's what was the holdup. After he set that engine in here, guys, he got ready to bolt the motor mount up to the brackets. And lo and behold, the studs was broke off in the motor mount, the bracket part. Let me show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. So we've been fighting with the insurance adjusters. Guys, look at this. Y'all see this? Now, we look engines over, okay, before we put them in and tell if we see any problem, because nobody want to do this twice, right? Oh my goodness, after we get it in, only till it was time to bolt the mount up to this is when we found this. Nobody's going to try to drill those out, track those out. This is aluminum, guys, okay, and the tight spot in which is to get to, no, nobody's going to try to get that out. So we end up having to call in the insurance company back to give us authorization to replace. It's built into the timing cover. Okay, so one or two choices. They had one or two choices. Get me a new timing cover, or get him a new timing cover, or we simply take the timing cover off the old engine, which is still sitting over here in this area. And naturally, we want 6 hours to do that. Okay, yes, they balked. Of course, they fussed and raised hell. Why is it 6 hours to replace this? Okay, now, I'm not sure. See, let's just say, well, there's no way we could have went further, because if you're putting the engine in, of course, you're going to bolt it up. This is the side that the mount go on. Of course, naturally, you're going to bolt it up. So if we had already installed the engine, it was just sitting in here. But he stopped when he saw that. So now it's time to get approval for some more time and money. Yes, guys, they fussed and raised hell, but at the end of the day, they have no choice. Now, maybe they should get reimbursed by the salvage yard that sent them this thing. I don't know who's obligated to pay, but the tech should not have to suffer at all. So here we are. We finally got the cover off of this engine and put on this engine. Now he finally got the engine in. A couple more tweaks, and you can see the silicone ain't even dried fully yet. But he was so anxious to get this thing done. It's ridiculous, but guys, it's always a risk dealing with salvage yards that send engine, because nobody knows and nobody cares when their car headed to the salvage yard what's wrong with it. If y'all remember, initially this came with a broke tip right here, so we had to get a whole new brick. We had to put a whole new brick on there. Yes, guys. So they finally approved it. We got the cover off and we got it on the car. I don't know how is that even possible. I mean, threads go in one way, you hand tighten them, and then you drill them. Unless some guy with little experience tried to dram it down with his drill without starting the threads. Surely I hope that's not the case. So newbies, guys that's getting into the mechanic field, always start your bolts before you ram it down with an impact. Okay, now this is a 2.4 multi-air engine. It's a pretty unique setup, guys. Timing chain, of course, you got the timing chain guide. I've never had a head off one of these. That's not saying the heads never falter or never go bad. Water pump fairly easy once you gain access to it. It's right there. Map sensor, I want to say. Okay, thing about this car, guys, let's say for instance that appears to be a map sensor. Okay, think about where it's located and it's in the intake manifold. That is your best source of engine vacuum, right? So if any place you want to put a map sensor, that is the spot. That's where a map sensor typically gonna live. But let me show you something. Some of these cars, map sensor and a mass airflow sensor. Okay, back in the day, guys, it was one or the other. Speed density or non-speed density cars. This car is equipped with a mass airflow sensor and a map sensor. Okay, wow. that is pretty astonishing, to say the least. I want to read up some more on why is that the case. What is the advantage to doing it? Okay, y'all know before I speak on something, I like to know exactly what I'm speaking on. But map sensor and a mass airflow sensor. Alrighty. Alright, now we spoke about the brick earlier, guys. You will need a special tool to replace this. And this engine is solely dependent on the correct amount of oil being used. You will have all kinds of problems if the correct amount of oil is not in the engine. I will explain why that is the case. Okay, this engine is dependent on the correct amount of oil. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe how much trouble you would have if the oil is low. Alright, I've seen a couple guys with the front timing off, repairing a leak. I'm not sure why, because the sealant that they use to seal this is extremely good. Okay, it lasts a long time. So it looks like a dual chain setup. Okay, one chain is for the camshaft and the other likely for the oil pump. I have yet to go into one. Okay, got a tensioner, baby tensioner right here for the oil pump chain, and of course the tensioner for the to keep tension on the camshaft timing chain. All right, there's no belt, meaning no regular scheduled maintenance to replace the belt. A lot of guys, that's a big debate going on whether you should replace your timing chain or not. I guess the timing chain can stretch. You know, back in the day we had problems with we used to have a snubber right here on a 3.8, and it would clatter right there, and we had to go in and get that stubber out of there and put a new chain on it. Then it would be quiet. So, but they're not doing that anymore, so I'm not sure if there's ever a reason to replace your timing chain. All right, I get that question all the time. As far as stretching, I guess over time, a lot of miles that can happen, but for the most part, not sure that would be an issue in the future. Okay, all right guys, of course the rear flywheel, this is where the thermostat go. Y'all know how difficult the thermostat is. I did a video on thermostat replacement. In fact, I'm gonna card it right here. Y'all go check it out. It was nice, short, and sweet. At least that's what all the comments said, guys. I wasn't really into time back then, so I just flowed with it. Okay, so that's all I have, guys, especially pertaining to this. Like I say, he finally got it in. He probably fired up tomorrow, but that was the holdup. The motor mounts bracket, the bolt studs was broken inside the engine support bracket. Okay, the only way to cure that was to replace the complete cover. Now this is aluminum, guys. This is not going in the trash. Y'all know where it's going? In JT's Nissan truck. Scrap, y'all. Scrap aluminum pays a little bit. You know, I'm never too rich to go get me some scrap aluminum money. Alright guys, that's all I have, man. Let me go back over here. I'm gonna make sure it's trash, so I'm gonna leave it here and let him throw it away, and then I'll come get it out of his possession. Alright guys, so I'll see y'all in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.